Hey guys, Miss Roopa here. If you know me, you know that I love science, and so any chance that I get to do a science experiment, I'll take it. So I wanted to share one with you today, since it's spring break, called floating ink. And here's what you need. You need a glass plate or a dish, like things that you would bake in. You need dry erase markers, and that's really, really important. Please, please, please don't use Sharpies or regular pens on your glass baking dish, okay? Dry erase markers are what you need. You need water, a glass of water, and a towel for cleanup. And the next part I'm going to go over is your procedure, the steps that you're going to take during our science experiment. So the first step is that you're going to take your dish and you're going to clean and dry the glass plate. So you want to make sure that your dish is completely dry. The second step is to draw the design on the surface. So you're going to take your dry erase markers and you're going to just draw whatever you want to on your glass plate. The next step, you're going to slowly pour water into your dish. And this is the part where you are going to observe. And observe means to look with your eyes and see what's happening. This is where the experiment is going to happen right here. Now, when you're done, take your dish of water carefully, with your parents' help probably, and you're going to pour the water out into the sink. You can dry off your dish and you can do it again. So we are going to go ahead and do the experiment together. All right, so I've got all the things that we need for our experiment, and I wanted to show you one more time the supplies that you're gonna need. I have my cup of water right here. I have my glass baking dish. This is a Pyrex dish. Again, any kind of glass surface or glass plate that you can use or that you have at home, you can use for this experiment. This is probably the most important part though, guys. You need to make sure that your markers that you're using are dry erase. So not a regular pen, not a Sharpie, definitely not a Sharpie, not a washable marker either, but a dry erase marker. And I also have paper towel for when I'm done. And when I'm at the last step of the experiment, I'm gonna take my dish out, pour it out in my sink, and then if I wanna do more, make sure that it's dry and you'll be good to go. All right guys, let's go ahead and get started here. So first off, wipe out your dish, make sure that it's nice and dry, and then we are going to take our dry erase markers and draw our design. So again, this can be literally anything that you want to draw, but I am going to draw a little stick figure. And maybe some hearts, because who doesn't love a good heart? And one of the tricks is that you want your drawing to be connected. So make sure that you're properly connecting your heart together, otherwise it'll break off. It may do that anyway, but just for the best results, make sure that it's nice and dark and the ends are connected. Okay, I'm gonna try a different color. And this is the cool part of the experiment, is that some colors will lift off the bottom better than other ones, but I do want you to try, if you have different colors, try them all out and see which ones work better. There's an orange, and let's do a little black heart. Make sure to color it in, make sure that it's connected. Okay. So now, I'm gonna leave it at that. The next step is that you're gonna take your water and you're gonna slowly pour it in over what you have drawn. And I'm gonna try to get it over here to the side. If you pour it too fast, when I've tried this before, it ends up breaking the design that you've made. So that's why you want to pour it a little bit slow. Okay, and do you see what's happening? My designs have lifted off the bottom and are now floating on the surface of the water. Let's see, pour it on this side a little bit. Now, you can kind of see that as they float, they will start to kind of break apart, but it's still cool to see initially your design lift up off the water, or lift up off the bottom of the pan into the top of the water. And you can see the black maybe didn't work this time, but maybe it'll work another time. So that's why if you have a bunch of different colors, try them out and see which ones work, see which ones don't, see which designs work better for you guys. But still really, really cool. And you can take your pan and you can move your designs. You can even touch them. Anyway, yeah, so this is our experiment for today, floating ink. Maybe these are things that you have at home and you can give them a try. Hey guys, I hope you had fun with the experiment, and I also hope that you try it at home and see what happens when you do it. I wanted to real quickly go over the why behind our science experiment. So for our floating ink experiment, the dry erase markers that we used are just designed differently than a regular pen or a Sharpie marker. When you use a regular pen on a piece of paper, you want that ink to stick. But when you use a dry erase marker, you kind of want to be able to erase it off to be able to use the board again. So regular pen ink is very sticky, whereas dry erase marker ink is less sticky. So that's part of it. The other part goes over a science term called density. And density is just a fancy word for if something will sink or if it'll float. So if something has less density, that object will float when placed in the liquid that you choose. If something is more and has more density, it is going to sink. So our dry erase marker drawings in the water, they floated. So does it have less density or more density? They floated, so they have less density. And that's why when you pour the water into your dish, the drawings lifted up because they are less dense than the water that we placed them in. All right, guys, if you try this experiment at home, please, please, please send me videos or pictures of your drawings floating in the water. And I will be back tomorrow with another experiment.